Hi, everyone. Happy Tuesday. Today is Tuesday, May 31st, 2022, and this is my weekly update for a Tuesday. So I don't have a huge amount of things to go over today, but I did want to just talk a little bit about some of the things that are on the calendar for this week, and also about the weather, of course, because it's supposed to be extremely hot today. And that means, certainly some added risks to our residents. So let me start there. So as you can see, it's a beautiful day outside. I personally like it when it's this warm, but one of the things that we know can certainly happen when it's this warm out is that folks can tend to become dehydrated. So it's very important to make sure that you're drinking water. And one of the tips that I usually like to tell residents to think about, and even people in my personal life is, we all hate to drink too much water so that we can avoid trips to the restroom at night. But one of the ways that you can do that is to hydrate, a ton in the morning. So, make it a point to drink a good bit of water really early in the day. It will increase your energy level. It will make sure that you're safely hydrated, and it will avoid those unwanted extra trips to the bathroom during the middle of the night. So making a point to drink water early in the morning or earlier in the day will make your experience on these hot days a lot better. So definitely think of that. Of course, we've still got quite a bit of pollen and other things as the plants and everything are still coming to life. So if you are experiencing allergy symptoms or have any concerns about anything, if you're concerned that maybe it's allergies or maybe potentially it's COVID, go ahead, we can test you. We've got tons of test kits. It's not necessary if you don't want to. It's totally up to you. It's optional. But I know that there's been a lot of people testing thinking that maybe they've got COVID and it's coming back as allergies. You can probably hear in my voice, it's a little bit gravelly. Same thing. I spent the entire day, actually the entire weekend outside. So, it's definitely the impacts of, a lot of airborne particles right now. So just to keep that in mind as well. And the last thing related to the weather is just that if you probably haven't seen the Woodland Life yet, you're probably going to get it tomorrow, maybe today is my guess. But you're going to see that there's a section on the front that I included related to what is called the Summer of Savings. And this is an initiative that we're going to be working with the Sustainability Committee on saving resources used at the community. So today would be a great test for you, although the Summer of Savings doesn't kick off until July. Rather than opening a window, which is always a terrible idea when it's this hot, because our air conditioning systems don't work the proper way when the window's open, but to layer up. So if you're a little bit chilly in your apartment because you've put the air conditioning up so high, maybe you turn that air conditioning down a bit and put on a sweater. If you're chilly, or maybe try just different behaviors that don't rely so much on power to moderate your temperature. So it will be a test for all of us, but these are the good days to try that. If you have any issues or concerns, any problems with your AC, please call and put in a work order right away. And that's, again, just a general reminder, anytime that you see anything at the community that isn't working, or you're concerned that it's not working the way that it's supposed to, whether it be in your own home or anywhere on campus, please assume that we don't know about it. I know that there's oftentimes an assumption that we know about everything, and if it's not getting fixed or taken care of, we're just ignoring it. Most of the time, we have no idea that this circumstance exists, because we've got 400,000 plus square feet of indoor space and 84 acres of property on campus. We just can't be everywhere at once. So we need your eyes and ears. If you see a problem at all of any type, you're empowered and encouraged to put in a work order. We'd much rather have 5 work orders for the same issue than no work orders, and a conclusion that we are ignoring it. So please, extra work orders, and we want to get everything done and addressed for all of you. Let's see, we've got a number of great things on the calendar this week, and next week as well. So it's important that for some of these special concerts and so forth, that everyone is signing up with concierge if you plan to attend. And again, these events are open to everyone in the entire community, as long as you can safely come to the location of the event. There's nothing that's specific to a specific residential group among the community, but just you need to be able to safely arrive and to participate. So Today we've got a Tree of Life program that's being put on by the Interfaith Committee. That's at 2 p.m. in the PAC. And that the topic today is what it means to be an Episcopalian. So that's today at 2. Actually, I'm sorry, that's tomorrow at 2. Today at 2. So Tree of Life is tomorrow, Wednesday at 2. Today, we have, yes, this is the peace of mind in making healthcare decisions, also a very important topic. So let me just talk about that for a second. So at 2 p.m. today in the PAC, we have a speaker coming to talk to residents and answer questions about decisions related to your healthcare, end-of-life decisions, advanced directives, and so forth. So we are aware that there are some residents here that have not either made plans for healthcare proxies, powers of attorney, advanced directives for end-of-life decisions. And that's okay. They're not required by law or by your contract, but it's very important from a preparedness perspective that you do have those documents prepared. We're seeing it more and more that folks are having an incident where they can't speak for themselves. We go into the files, we find that we don't have a copy of your power of attorney forms or your healthcare proxy or your medical orders for life-sustaining treatment, which is a New York State MOLST form, hot pink form that tells first responders, medical personnel, what your wishes are for end of life, whether you want to be resuscitated, whether you wish to have no interventions, et cetera. And we really need that information to be able to properly care for you and ensure that your care is rendered in the way that you wish it to be. And even more so related to your healthcare proxy, they need to know your decisions so that they can indicate those on your behalf when the time comes. Or power of attorney, you should have a primary and a secondary for all of those roles. They should be current. But most importantly, if you have time today and you want to beat the heat by doing something indoors, 2 o'clock today in the PAC, you will be able to hear about the recommendations for each of these documents, the importance of each of the documents, and ask any questions that you might have. It's very good practice for you to make sure, check in with the business office to make sure that we've got the most recent copies of your documents. If you live in independent living, if you live in the health center anywhere, one of our Department of Social Services folks will check in with you to make sure that we've got the current documents. It's just, we need to know who we're going to be communicating with should you not be able to communicate on your own, and we need to know what your wishes are. So very important stuff. So you should plan on attending that today in the great room. I'm sorry, in the PAC, if you are interested in that topic. Then we talked about tomorrow is the Tree of Faith program, and we have an astronomy lecture at 2 o'clock in the classroom on Friday. Space is limited for that, but that should be great. We've never had an astronomy presentation or lecture here at Woodland Pond, and you can sign up for that at Concierge. Next week, we've got several Pondeliers concerts. We've got an honor flight program. We've got an ArtScope opening reception, which is actually, for those that haven't been here since we have done a staff show, this is really a very meaningful show. The participants change every year, but this is where the staff art is highlighted. And we always hear amazing feedback each time we do the staff show. So if you can attend that, that's at 7 p.m. In the PAC on Monday is the opening reception. So Monday the 6th. So just make sure that you're taking an eye and keeping an eye on your Woodland Life calendars. And those, things so that we can keep you informed and active. Let's see. The last thing I just wanted to mention, it came up as a question this week about whether or not we're still requiring masks. So just on that point, yes, we are still requiring masks throughout the community in all common areas. That includes cards. The only exception to that at the moment is in places where refreshments are being served. So if you are enjoying refreshments at in any of the common areas in the main dining room or in the dining room, in any of the dining rooms in the health center, or if the event that you're at or meeting that you're at is offering refreshments, then you don't need to be masked. But otherwise, currently, yes, we still need to all be masked. We currently only have one positive case in a resident, and it's very mild. So we're not seeing the numbers that we're seeing a few weeks ago, but we do know from information that we get from the state that New Paltz is still a high risk of transmission. We do get wastewater reports from them every week, and New Paltz continues to be on the higher end of what the particulates that they're seeing in the wastewater is higher than what the epidemiologists were hoping to see. But again, here on campus, we just have one positive resident in independent living, and she's doing okay. So we are going to continue the mask wearing. We are going to continue that in the health center until the state regulation changes and says that we don't need to. Obviously, that has not changed in a very long time. So that will remain in effect probably longer than independent living. What I am thinking right now for independent living is that as long as we get through the next 10 days following the Memorial Day holiday without a significant uptick, that we will probably be able to eliminate the masks in public areas and independent living in about a week or a week and a half or so. So that's where we are at. Obviously always fluid based on the needs of the community and the numbers that we're seeing. If you need anything, I am in all week this week, and I hope to see you, and I hope that you have a great day. Thank you.